Hey guys, I'm making this video because I've had chronic heartburn for I want to say about 7, 8 years, aka chronic acid reflux. And doctors, I've seen so many of them, taken so many different medicines. I've tried so many different treatments, these stupid Chinese herbal remedies, vitamin therapies. I've done so much reading and research over the last 8 years, and it's only recently that I've, finally gotten a hold over this problem. Now, I'm not gonna like push anything on you. I will link what worked for me in the description. I just want to give you some advice that I think is really important about this. Number one, these pharmaceuticals, if you are taking them, if you're taking antacids, you have to be very careful. It says on the back of a lot of these medicines that you're not supposed to take them for 8 weeks. Yet, I have spoken to so many people who have taken these things for years and years. And these are people who do not research, who don't read recent studies from the British medical industry who has published things like Nexium are known to produce more gastrin in the stomach, gastrin, and gastrin is known. It's correlated to esophageal cancer. They're finding out so many new things about how these medicines disrupt your entire system. It can actually escalate the problem over time. And I know, from my own personal experience, I would take, I would take a couple of Tums and my heartburn would go away and then it would come right back and it would be even worse than before. Because all these things do is neutralize your stomach acids. And the next time you put something in your stomach has to compensate and it's already inflamed, from previous inflammation and whatnot, and it winds up producing more and more stomach acid, and you just get off of pills. Stop taking these antacids. I'm telling you right now, that is not the way to fix this. You need a more holistic way of addressing this, a more naturalistic, systemic thing that addresses everything. All these, you know, there's a lot of different triggers. I'm only going to talk about a couple, but there's triggers, certain foods especially, where if you eat them, you won't be able to eat other foods that you would be able to eat if you weren't eating the trigger foods in the first place. Like, that might sound confusing, but milk is a well-known trigger food. We have so much research about this. There's like 59 raging animal hormones, saturated fats, fat steroids, and we're brainwashed by the media about how this stuff builds good, strong bones. If you want a healthy teenager, take a sip of milk, and all this BS. The lactose in the milk is a form of sugar, and that's another thing I'm going to get into. But milk, any form of dairy, just cut it out right now, because it is not going to make this problem any better. And you might love dairy, but you have to get it out of your diet. Because the fact is, if you don't change this, you're going to be taking these prescription medicines for the rest of your life. You're going to disrupt your entire internal balance. You're going to wind up with osteoporosis and all these, things that new studies are linking to now about these drugs like Nexium and, these PPI medicines, these foaming agents and H2 blockers. Um, you have you have to fix this naturally. That's my advice. The second thing I'm recommending you stay away from is sugar. There was a great video I saw on YouTube. I can't remember the name. I think it was called Sugar, the Bitter Truth. Maybe it was a really good video. It doesn't really get into the heartburn aspects of sugar, but just know that sugar, if you have acid reflux, it's again one of the worst things you can put in your body. Sugar comes in so many different forms too. Like I said, it's in milk, but it's also in apple juice. It's also in apple juice, orange juice. It's in so many different condiments. They now put sugar in bread. In fact, if you go to the supermarket and you read the back of almost any label, you will see sugar um, in almost everything. That's how bad it is. So start paying attention to, where the sugar is coming from, how much you're getting, and you have to minimize your intake as much as possible. But if you start with these two tips, just eliminating dairy and sugar as much as possible, I guarantee you'll notice a really big difference. Um, but my biggest piece of advice is to stay away from these medicines because these doctors get incentivized. They get like these $50,000 grants if they hand out a certain amount of Nexium samples, and people wind up taking these drugs. They don't even read the back. They don't read research about what these, in the long term, what these drugs have been linked to. Doctors are never going to recommend a healthy diet because it's not profitable. So, really, just use your common sense about this. There are other ways to handle this issue that are a lot more effective. Because I can tell you, I've tried so many different things that haven't done anything for me. All these stupid Bandaid approaches are worthless. And long term, they're not going to fix this problem. But that's basically all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to get the word out there. About acid reflux. And if you have any questions, if you found anything that works for you, feel free to drop it in the comment section. But what's worked for me, I'm not going to push it on anyone. I highly recommend this guy's program, but you have to be somewhat educated about this to know when you're reading something that you're in the right direction. And I'm not here to convince you of that. If you really want to solve this problem, you will. But you're not going to solve it with any magical pill or, any of these quick fix gimmicks. So, good luck, and I really hope you find something that works for you. And like I said, I'll leave the link in the description if you're interested. All right. Bye-bye.